The Lokar Car Show welcomes you to Seal Beach, California, where the dogs are huge, the boutiques are bodacious, and Main Street has been turned into a concourse of quality cars. This is definitely not going to be just another day at the beach. Stay tuned. As the Lokar Car Show series hits the streets of Seal Beach, the first thing we learn is not everything is what it appears to be, like this 1928 Ford pickup.
What do you have under the hood?
Okay. Now I'll show you the engine. This is a 1928 Ford truck, soft top. There's a few modifications, just to be different. Got a 4.6 camber engine in it with a ZF transaxle, 5-speed. And I built this car and it took me 9 months to build it from start to finish. The car is an original car, and I had to lengthen the bed 11 inches to be able to put the 4.6 in it. And then I made the bottom frame and the whole car is original. The frame on the top part is original and everything. 9 months in my garage at home. This one here is a 1916 Ford touring car. I built this because my wife wanted something that held 4 people. This is a nice car, it runs good. It's got a Mustang V6 in it, 305 horsepower, behind a 6-speed automatic. Very nice. The wheels on this car are made out of solid billet. It's one piece carved out, which is a little unusual, but have something different.
This is a 1962 Thunderbird Roadster. This model came out in 62 and 63 only. The Roadster is particularly rare because they made about 1,400. It has the tonneau cover, the Kelsey Hayes wheels, and the grab bar, which is part of the Sports Roadster package. Kelsey Hayes wheels in itself, you try to buy one of these and they're about $1,000 each now. And this particular one has the trunk weights, which makes it a very early model, about 100 before they decided that it was really not necessary. They helped to stabilize it, but there's also some very large weights in the front bumpers. In addition to that, I added some heavy-duty stabilizer bars, so it floats down the highway. You know, it's just a beautiful car.
And you bought it from the original owner?
Yes, I did. And he didn't take good care of it. Had an Earl Scheib paint job done on it. Needless to say, I had to take it and have it stripped completely and redone. I've had since had the top redone, the interior redone, the trunk, and it has a 390 cubic inch engine. The motor has been redone with the original chrome accents, part of a special package that they used. Behind the seats are another pair of seats, so I can take the tonneau cover off and have seating for 4. And it would look like a regular convertible, and you know, why have a regular convertible when you can have a Roadster?
Mom, what did you do before?
Well, I designed Hot Wheels from 1969 to 1989. In fact, here's one of my autograph sheets from one of the conventions showing some of my favorite cars, a 57 Chevy, the Evil Weevil, the Barracuda, Highway Hauler, and some of the other cars like the Accord. That was one of my favorites. I kind of pushed for the classic cars. I just enjoyed them so much. And here are some of my other autograph sheets. That was my car at the time. It was an 80 Honda Accord, kind of souped up, but it, you know, wasn't really that souped up. But there's one I worked on. This was from a super convention, that autograph sheet for that year. Oh, in here is the Beach Bomb. The Beach Bomb was a very rare car in that without the side boards on the side in 1969, we tried this, it didn't work on the tracks. So now there are about 21 of these left. This pink one goes for about $100,000. This one is about $65,000. I had this one, the antifreeze, the blue, and the red. And I've since sold these two naturally since I like to support my big car hobby.
Coming up, not quite Hot Wheels, but almost the same scale. The Lokar Car Show series is being brought to you by Lokar Performance Products, quality plain and simple. And by ARP, the world leader in fastener technology. And by Steel Rubber Products, quality automotive rubber parts and weather stripping. And by Flowmaster, the exhaust technology company. And by Stage 8, the world's best locking fastener. Welcome back to the Lokar Car Show coverage of the Seal Beach Classic.
1958 Nash Metropolitan. Everything was produced in England but assembled here in the U.S. So you see England on a lot of stuff. The car was popular for 10 years. So when you see the Metro that's one solid color, it's from the original first 5 years. So then when you see the two-tone, that moved up probably 56, 57 all the way to 1960. And then a lot of people said it's too small of a car, and that's where the Nash Rambler came out. I've put 6 people in here, believe it or not, just to try it. We drove around town. Back in the 50s, this got and still does 40 miles per gallon. This engine, I've been told, is Nash motors, and you could have it as a tractor motor in England. So not the fastest car, but it gets a lot of character. I've had some people say it looks like a toaster. My daughter, it's her car, and she's 9 years old, and right away she nicknamed it Gidget. And Gidget's important when I finish the story for you. Doing a little bit of history on the car, we found out a lady named Barbara Avedon used to own it, and she is the producer-writer for the TV show Gidget, Mr. Magoo, Father Knows Best, Bewitched, and Cagney and Lacey. So it was ironic that we called her Gidget when that was who owned the car. So the car was in Hollywood, and in 1984, and I don't want to tell you this, but I guess I'm gonna, she was stolen. And I'm the 4th owner from when it was stolen. It had a for sale sign in North Hollywood, and Barbara Avedon, the police report all showed this. So long story short, my neighbor who worked for the police department told me all the history of who owned it and that it was stolen. He goes, we need to take it and repossess it, and I about cried. But after going through the courts and to a judge and the CHP, the car officially belongs to us. After I got it here and thought it was going to be taken away, I found out there were cars just like it here in California, so I don't know. I have some history with it, I guess.
I have a 1966 Volkswagen SO44 Dormobile. This bus is obviously designed for camping. It actually sleeps 6 people inside, if you can believe that. It's very German 1960s, the sleeping arrangements inside. Only 500 were ever made, and they were European only. So there's actually only 6 in the US and 24 in the whole world, with the SO44 interior and the Dormobile top. But once I found out how rare it was, I had to have it.
What you have here?
I have a 1967 VW bus, but unfortunately we had to sell our big baby and make room in our garage. If anyone has a Ghia out there that's already done, I'm ready to drive it. This is fully restored. We worked painstakingly on every piece. We've had every piece of chrome polished. We've matched the lining to the original VW colors, eggshell white and velvet green. We also did all of the upholstery and the lining inside. These are safari windows, so you can lift them up. Obviously they're air cooled. They didn't have air conditioning. They didn't have safety belts. Those were good times in the 60s. You take this baby down to Mexico with your surfboards and your Coronas and have a good time. And that's what this bus is made to do.
Bob Griffith, farm and ranch boy in Nebraska. Went to pharmacy school, come to California in '70. Bought a drugstore in Seal Beach in '72. Got into a couple business, sold a business, and started racing. And I raced Bonneville, set a few records with our car, Sebring. It's all sportsmen, You know, you take a racing class, it's like a 2-day class in brain surgery. You find out so much you don't know, and I don't know much about racing. I do enjoy what I do. The car I have here is a twin-turbo Viper, 1,000 horsepower at the rear wheels. That's with no boost. Potentially about 2,000 horsepower. We've only been able to use about 1,500 of the horsepower. Don't have the traction. 69 Camaro. It's not a race car. It's a car I like. I like the color of it. It's like, who's your favorite child? You know, if a nice day like this, you want one of the convertibles. You're going racing. Depends on what kind of racing you go. Your child to bring home the A, that's your favorite child that day.
What about this, your hometown car show?
I was out of the country one year, opened up the paper and it showed Seal Beach Car Show. I mean, this is a really great car show. People work hard to get it this way.
And like Tariq stepping in and taking over a component of the show and doing it as a sponsor.
We have a restaurant on one side, and on this side we have our artisan bakery that makes everything fresh, from pastries, croissant doughs, and all kinds of artisan breads and things.
I just think that this is such an amazing community effort. I really want to thank all the sponsors, the city, our partners, our tireless volunteers, and most importantly, the participants, because without their cars, we wouldn't have a show.
Can you believe this Buick was considered a failure? Up next. Welcome back to the Lokar Car Show series. It's perfect Southern California weather for the Seal Beach Classic, which has drawn the attention of Detroit.
Well, first off, as a member of the staff of General Motors, I'm really pleased and honored to be a part of this, the 27th annual Seal Beach Auto Show, because not only do we have a great venue here, I mean, the Main Street here is just beautiful, but then, you know, this is Southern California. It's loaded with cool cars. I mean, you spend any time here, garage doors open on a Saturday morning, you peek inside, you're going to see one of these things sitting in there. On behalf of General Motors, we've actually brought some kind of special new cars to the thing here. In fact, I probably have the only 214 models here, and being that the new Corvette Stingray is so popular, we've brought a couple new Stingrays down, as well as a Cadillac, which I think is going to be pretty cool because it's got a real futuristic design. In fact, it's an electrified car, electric Cadillac, and I've put it next to a couple vintage caddies. So I think it's just going to be a great place for people to get a look at the past, but also see maybe what's going to be in car shows in the future. By the way, I've seen some of the stuff that GM has on the drawing boards, and electrified cars are actually going to become more fun to drive than Corvettes and Camaros in the very near future. So mark my words on that.
Well, I got the car, it was in really bad shape. It was a basket case. I bought it probably in 1989, and then I put it in my garage and drove it for a while, and the restoration took me about 12 years. It's a labor of love, but the farther you delved into it, the worse it got. But I wanted to do it right, so everything's brand new. It's got about 500 miles on it since I finished it. I've only shown it about 3 times, and this is the first car show I've ever been to with it. In other words, just a local car show. I kind of wanted to show it first and kind of campaign it, and then once you campaign it, then drive it more. In other words, because it's going to start picking up dings and stuff, and then you really can't show it as much anymore, you know. But the only bad news about that is it's very difficult to keep the white wheel wells white and the top clean, you know. Both of them are difficult to keep clean. I just purchased a 53 Skylark, which I want to make them bookends, so I'm going to paint it the same as this car, same color, white top, white wheel wells, and I've had the car for about 6 months. It's already off the frame, it's powder coated, and we're starting right at the bottom again, you know.
You got another one, so you're a slow learner.
You might put it that way, yeah. Not too bright, but determined.
I knew the truck because I had done a weather stripping article on it when I was baby blue F100. I've had it about 10 years, and I decided to do something way different. The original chassis had been modified, so I decided I didn't want that because tradition keeps changing. So I went to a company called Total Cost Involved Engineering, and they actually fabricated a complete replacement chassis for this vehicle. It does have a little trick I'm going to show you guys too. It's on air, so I can actually raise and lower the ride height of it, sitting still or going down the road.
So you had these wheels made?
Yeah, they're a one-off wheel, and I told them exactly what I wanted because I used to ride motorcycles, did motorcycle magazines, and they're a flat hoop, which they had to get from Brazil and specially cut the centers to build these wheels for me. And the other is I was lucky enough to get an engine and transmission package from Jack Roush, So this is a 2001 supercharged Lightning engine. She has catalytic converter on it, runs off of a computer. Another outfit built me a complete custom wiring harness, sent them 38 pounds of wire, and Street Performance sent me back 8 pounds of wire with little tags on it. All I do is plug it in and start it up and ran perfect. Makes about 8 pounds of boost, 420 horsepower to the rear tires, so anytime that I really want it to take off and go, it's quite capable of going. And it has an AOD transmission, so it just keeps shifting gears, so it'll go faster than sheet metal wants to go. There's always a project that you want to do on it, so I'm thinking about doing a new gauge cluster for the center of the thing to complement what's going on with the engine, because I don't have boost gauge built in. I've got an under the dash one, and you occasionally peek at it and stuff like that, because I burned off 2 sets of tires playing with it when I first put it together, because it's obviously a little hot rod truck. And I drive it like a human being now, so it gets about 24 miles per gallon, believe it or not. When I talked about maybe change it, because you've noticed it's all jammed out in gloss black. That meant if I didn't like the flat black, it'd be easy just to paint it gloss black and go forward. Well, my club members won't let me because they named it Black Bart and said, you can never change this truck. As a matter of fact, I added the pinstriping because people kept saying to me, well, what color is it going to be when you finish it? So it's finished.
But we're not finished. Not till we're reunited with this rare Porsche. Coming up. The Lokar Car Show series has been brought to you by Lokar Performance Products, quality plain and simple, and by Custom Auto Sound, the originator of classic car OEM fit radios since 1977, and by B&M Racing and Performance, quality performance products that work, and by Cal's Custom, proudly manufactured in the United States, and by Original Parts Group, the world's largest source for GMA body parts and accessories.
In 1954, my parents bought it in Texas, brand new. Just recently started restoring it.
When my wife and I first started dating, I saw this car in her dad's garage. What a fun project this will be. And lo and behold, here we are with it.
A lot of elbow grease and wax and polish, paint and body work. But it's the original glass top. When my parents had it, they let the registration expire on it, the license plate. So we just recently had that back on because for years I tried to get the car registered under the old plates. The original engine was a 239. During the restoration process, we couldn't get the old engine back to life, so we have a 292 in there.
If you grew up with this car, you probably have first dates, proms, some of those stories.
No, I used to help my dad work on it and learned my first cuss words. He had his head under the steering wheel, broke the turn signal off, and that's the first time I ever heard him cuss.
You're gonna be in the family forever?
Yep.
This has been a real good reunion. My daughter, my son-in-law, and my wife has seen the car for the first time in 50 years, and we're overjoyed. The car is a 1962 356B Roadster. They only made 47 of them. We owned it for about 6 years. I bought it from the original owner in 1966, so it was used with 19,000 miles on it. I drove it for about 5 years. I got rid of it in 1968. At that time, I bought a new Camaro with an air conditioner. I had too many cars and not enough space, and I had a little daughter that required a little air conditioning because we were taking a big trip to Wyoming in July. And my wife said, "What about the Porsche?" I said, "No way." So anyhow, we sold this to a man in Manhattan Beach. Bill, who owns the car now, bought it from the gentleman in Manhattan Beach after 48 or 49 years. He's had it about a year and a half. It's a little different color now. When I had the car, as far as I was concerned, it was a vanilla color. It's now white, as you can see. But the car looks just exactly like when I got rid of it, except a little bit more chrome on the wheels. I sold it for $2,250, and it's worth about $300,000 now.
But you got your air conditioner.
You got that right, and I still have it.
Jeff, this car is just full of all kinds of cool finishing touches from Lokar. And this is a car that goes out and the guys drive around, and it's a beautiful piece.
That's one thing with this 32 Phaeton. We took an opportunity with a beautifully restored car to show off what we can do with some of our products to just help the guys finish out what they're working on.
We are very familiar with a lot of the things that Lokar does inside, but you got new headlight braids?
It's an adjustable U-cut fit headlight braid specifically for the 32 grill shell and the 32 headlights.
You know, and come inside, and of course we have the Lokar shifter, we have the emergency brake handle, everything has been put together. I mean, even our turn signals and everything on the steering wheel column over here too.
Yeah, we feel like we've got a pretty complete product line to be able just to finish you out, you know, just a lot of the products that are hard to find, give you some styling cues. We can go get you a modern look. We can go to a complete nostalgia look like what we see here with our Lakester pedal, our nostalgia shifter, and some of the dash inserts, some of the polished and chrome goodies.
Oh yeah, dash looks absolutely awesome. Everything so functional with Lokar, made in the USA, looks really good. You can find out about their complete product line from their new items all the way back to the tried and true. Just hop on their website at lokar.com.
Seal Beach is sandwiched between Long Beach and Huntington Beach. I can't think of a better place to have a car show than on an idyllic main street in a beachside town like Seal Beach. It looks like you built a set for this. The show started out really with about 50 local guys that just had a passion for cars. Most of them were Woodies, old rusty Volkswagens, surfboards on the top, and they park over by the pier. This year, our 27th year, we have over 650 cars on the ground, not including the feature cars, sponsor cars. We have a kids zone with face painting and a playground. We have Cackle Fest over by the pier. We have the beach all by itself and all the cool attractions that a beach town has anyway. And we've got great sponsors that are new and different for our show, like Russo and Steel, Original Parts Group, Crevier Classic Cars, Back in the Day Classic Cars, Glory Days, and then also we've got lots of restaurants, shopping. All these merchants are open. So all the reasons you'd come to a beach town anyway, especially Seal Beach, are here. And the value added are now 650 of some of the most beautiful cars in Southern California.
That'll bring to a close another edition of the Lokar Car Show series. Join us next week when we'll have more palm trees, only these are in Florida.